my present to you is to cultivate a gift within you that we find demonstrated in the Matthew 1 account of Jesus' birth through the life of his surrogate father, Joseph. This life lesson is that you must resolve to make God's voice the loudest in your life. I like to talk about Joseph because he is a stand-up guy who covered for Mary when it was determined that his fiancée was pregnant and that he was not the father. In addition to that, Mary claimed that she had conceived this child through the Holy Spirit as a great work of God. Okay, so that is a lot to take all at once because during those times, his honor and her life were at stake if she were found to be pregnant before they were married. And truth be told, her story sounds extraordinary for many to this day. But if we look at the larger picture, we have been in Joseph's position where we have had a messy situation thrown into our lap. Like Joseph, our first inclination has been to distance ourselves from scandal and to set the record straight in the court of public opinion. We allow the voices of the crowd, our family, friends, to become louder than the voice of God. Please know that the God of Joseph and the God of Mary is still speaking, and that even though there are legal and just responses to messy circumstances, somehow God disrupts our procedures to provide space for a miracle if we would just listen. I do not know how well Joseph knew Mary at this point of the story. I can't make claims about how love figured into their engagement. After all, it was an arranged marriage, which makes his act of faith even more tremendous to me. Such a sacrificial act is befitting a man who could father Jesus, the one we call God with us, and the measure by which we know God so loved our world through the greatest sacrifice. But I do know that God dealt with Joseph in a dream, and Joseph weighed and followed what God showed him. For some of you, vivid dreaming may not be your style of communication with God. Just make sure that you are in touch with the voice of God. When God reveals the next steps for your life, that you hear him. Make sure that you can pray, find direction, perceive, discern, or sense when God is showing you a greater plan to take action and use your faith and courage like Joseph to bring change to humanity. This process of making God's voice the loudest usually starts with a simple question such as, God, what is your will for my life? I must warn you that when you ask serious questions like, God, what is your will for my life? You are making a powerful move that could very well turn the world upside down, rearrange procedures, and it can change the game of what it means to love in community, to love beyond all understanding. So remember this life lesson. Make God's voice the loudest. You just might be entrusted with the ushering in of the greatest peace the world has ever known. Thank you for joining me. Merry Christmas, and make sure that you move and shake things up right where you are. See you soon. Bye.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. All the kids caroling in the choir. It's the most wonderful time of the year. All the kids playing in the snow, in the cold. And we all get together and celebrate around the tree.